What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of History Behind the Horror. I'm your host, Tay, and for today's video, we will be talking about Blake Langermann from Outlast 2. But before we get into that video, I would like to give shout outs to the ones who gave our last Outlast video so many likes and shared it and put in the comments for what you guys wanted to see next. If it wasn't for those three things, I wouldn't even be making this video right now. I'd probably be doing something else, but thank you for letting me know that you guys wanted to see this video. And if you want to see more Outlast 2 or Outlast content on this channel, make sure you give this video a like and share it. It lets me know if you guys enjoyed this video or not. And after that, make sure you go to the comments and let me know which video you would like to see me do from the Outlast series or any other video you would like to see. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. As a child, Blake Langermann attended a Catholic school with Lynn and Jessica Gray, both of whom he was very close to. Blake has multiple flashbacks to his childhood, specifically one memory where he was playing hide and seek with Jessica after school, where they were caught by Father Lodermilch and Blake is forced to leave while Jessica is lectured. Blake returns upon hearing her scream and finds her bloodied, mangled corpse on the stairs, neck broken. It is implied Lodermilch killed Jessica and forced Blake to keep quiet and help him cover it up as a suicide, crippling him with guilt for the rest of his life.
I don't know why you have to be so precious about it.
Did Lynn ask you to ask me?
I asked first. So?
I don't know.
Nerd.
Shut up.
You are.
She said to ask, didn't she?
Maybe. I don't know. I just wanted to know.
You're a nerd, too.
Think your parents are home yet?
No. Usually not until after dinner.
You think I could come over?
Yeah, sure. Why?
Why what?
Like, why do you want to come over?
I don't know.
What don't you know, Jessica?
Oh, sorry.
What are the two of you doing in here?
I'm sorry, Father Lodermilch.
We stayed after school for journal? We were just leaving.
Let's step back into class, please.
Blake?
You're not in trouble yet, Blake. You don't want to get in trouble, do you?
Just stay with me.
I want you two to tell me what you were doing in here. Were you misbehaving? Do I need to call your parents? Jessica, do I need to call your father again?
No, please.
I only want us to be friends. Nobody's in trouble yet. Does one of you think you can make this right? Jessica? Jessica, look at me. Will you pray with me? Will you help me make this right? Why don't you go along home, Blake?
Don't go.
Did I interrupt something between you two?
It wasn't like that.
Then what did you want? You won't say? You know, shame is a gift from God to let you know right from wrong. And what you want is very wrong. Go home and pray.
Stay. I want you to stay.
Blake, please. This is awkward enough. Nothing's the matter, but I need you to leave us.
Don't.
Everything's okay. You can leave, young man. Walk away. think you saw?
Decades later, Blake is a cameraman who works alongside his journalist wife, Lynn. The pair are investigating the murder of a young pregnant woman who has yet to be identified. The Jane Doe victim investigation ends up with the pair crash landing in a helicopter in the Supai region of the Arizona desert. Blake is separated from Lynn and must find his way back to her, all the while exploring a village in a rural area where the residents are concerned that the end of days is finally upon them.
Jesus, Blake, are you really sleeping?
I'm awake.
You should have slept last night.
Well, I had to get that hospital footage organized.
You were calling out some other woman's name.
What?
In your sleep. Jessica, I think. You know a Jessica?
Oh, no. I mean, I was dreaming about Jessica Gray from when we were kids.
Oh, yeah. I haven't thought about her in ages.
Hey, we're crossing into reservation land now. You said I'm looking for some sort of factory?
Yeah,
We can look, but there's nothing out here.
it does look pretty empty.
All the mercury in that woman's blood, she had to have spent at least a decade downstream from some pretty heavy industry.
If you say so, man, you bought the time.
We should record an intro while we're up here. Production value?
Sure.
Can't work my diaphragm with this thing on.
Audio's gonna be crap. We'll have to... Whoa! What the fuck?
Fuck. Sorry about that. Left panel's a little soft, but well, we're good.
That was exciting. Get as much of the landscape behind me as you can. You got me?
Yeah, we're good.
Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Have a soup pie, have a soup pie. Okay. I'm Lynn Langermann, here for newstomorrow.net. We're flying past the Havasupai Indian Reservation in central Arizona in search of the origins of murder victim
Hey, Lynn,
Jane Doe.
I don't think you should say murdered. We don't know that.
Oh, I'll say she strangled herself to death.
It's what the police report says.
We may play this before the doctor interviews. If this falls on the first 30, we need to get the word murder in there. We should probably mention the fetus, too. I mean, how it just... Here, let me try a version that can serve as an intro for the whole piece. Tell me when we're good.
Okay, we're good.
2 weeks ago, a young woman was found wandering, barefoot, pregnant, and alone on a barren stretch of highway 100 miles from the nearest... Oh!
We lost the engine. Fuck.
While looking for Lynn, Blake finds the helicopter pilot skinned, gutted, and tied up to a tree limb, proving Blake and Lynn are in incredible danger. A fleet of hostile villagers encroach on Blake and try to kill him before he is reunited with his wife. Lynn has become entangled with the self-described prophet Sullivan North, who insists that Lynn is pregnant by Blake's child, describing it as the Antichrist. Thus begins a town-wide manhunt to track down Lynn and kill her before the child can be born.
She wasn't there. Lynn's body wasn't in the wreckage. She could still be alive. Oh, fuck me! Fuck! That did not happen in the crash. Fuck this. Lynn. Pilot. I don't even remember his name. What the fuck kind of people would skin somebody alive? Jesus Christ, Lynn.
The resulting clash between two cults, one with Christian beliefs and the other with satanic leanings, ends up with Lynn being taken away and Blake being left to find her and continue to investigate Templegate. It turns out that the pregnant woman who was murdered was the daughter of Ethan, a follower of Sullivan, who was sexually abused and impregnated by the preacher. Ethan kindly houses Blake, claiming to be too traumatized by the horrors of Templegate to keep his faith anymore, but is slain a few hours into Blake's arrest by Sullivan's enforcer, Martha.
You're him, ain't you? The outsider? No, so they killed you, didn't they?
No. Not yet.
Well, they'll do it if they find you out here. Come on.
Who are you?
My name's Ethan.
But I mean, are you one of them? And which side are you on?
You mean, why ain't I trying to kill you? I've been unborn. Seen too much to keep the faith.
But you're not one of those other ones. The heretics.
Didn't say squat when my wife got skull. Had to get cast out. Didn't complain when nah. Pressed himself with my Anna Lee. And she not but 15.
I'm sorry.
But when he said my grandson, baby he put in her, was about the Antichrist, and I had to slit her belly and kill the child. I gave her a chance to run. Spun them idiots some stories. I've been gifted with talk my whole life. You probably noticed.
Jane Doe.
Sorry?
Your daughter. She was 8 months pregnant. Blonde hair, cut like a boy's.
Yeah. Well, what do you know? You seen her?
It's why we came here.
Is she all right? Please, mister, just tell me she's okay.
She's fine.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. And God bless you. Come on. Get you inside. Ah! Whoa, hey there. You really busted your head open, didn't you?
I'll be okay.
Why'd you head down the road, son? I'll bed down there. You can hide till you're fixed up. It's all right. You just relax here. I'll keep you safe. You rest up and heal. Ethan's gonna treat you right. I ain't hiding nothing.
Righteousness cannot pass in blood by loins, but the blood of your heart.
I can't Papa's gospel. Like I bet him 100 times. If I knew where the outsider was...
Prophet don't need your help in finding the devil's whore and interrupt me. North questions even now other heretics at chapel. God will guide.
I ain't a heretic.
You sinned when you denied the prophet, your daughter. You've sinned since to deny.
Please! Please just let me talk to now!
No, the outsider is. His seed begat the enemy. God and the prophet both want.
Just let me talk to now! I can explain!
God don't hear death. Be still. Take your penance. God loves you. God loves you. Dynamite's the devil.
I hope you find your daughter. You didn't give me up to her. Not even though she... Thank you. That woman, or whatever she is, beat him to death. Something about finding Lynn. Something about a chapel.
Blake is chased throughout the town into Templegate's main chapel, where he watches in secret the horrific interrogation of two heretics who finally confess to Sullivan that Lynn is being kept in the mines, giving Blake a new objective.
We found her, tried to flee amongst the scars, not the actions of a woman unburdened by an immaculate conscience.
Mary? Oh, God.
Answer your yoke mate, honey. He can't see you.
It's me, Josiah. Please, tell him I don't... Let her go. Oh, God, Mary, I'm sorry. I didn't want...
God hates vanity. So do I. The outsider woman has this world's destruction in her womb. But Val and his apostate stole away the unborn enemy. The fiend's father has escaped. She will bear her filthy yield before dawn. We have only these few hours to find her and kill her and save this paradise from hell everlasting. Where is she? Where did Val take her?
I can't.
This is for you, Josiah. Make the woman scream. Where's the woman? The womb that harbors the Antichrist!
No! No! Strengthen the rebellious angel. I have no fear. Enemy of my enemy. Enemy of my enemy. Enemy of my enemy.
Tell Josiah to make it stop. Guardian for simple.
No! Oh, God! Please!
Where is the woman? Where did Val take her?
Stop! Stop! I'll tell you! I'm sorry, Mary. I'm so sorry.
Where is the woman?
The mines! Up the mountain. Val has her in the mines. You'll never get her back. Not before the birth.
We are the hands of the Lord. We cannot fail.
The world dies screaming.
Thank you, Josiah. That's American. Give the woman rest.
Where the fuck are the mines?
They always hurt women to punish men. It's sick. It's cowardly.
On his way there, Blake falls off a bridge and is abducted by a dwarf archer named Laird and his partner named Nick, the two leaders of the Scald Outcasts. Blake is anointed the Scald Messiah, and Laird insists on rebirthing Blake through crucifixion and being buried alive.
No! No! Let go! Fuck! Give him to us! Fuck, let us have him! Fuck off! God damn it! No!
Ah, praise God and his prophet now. Praise God. Forgive me, Lord, but I have to be sure. Open his mouth, Nick. Swallow. There you go. God, please, let him be the one. He's unmarked. He's pure. He is the Scald Messiah. You half-wit dog's cunt! He ain't been transubstantiated yet. He ain't been Boy.
Wait.
First, we gotta get him on that cross. Get my hammer and nails. Let's get on up that hill. He will come born on locust wings, immaculate as a newborn. He will give us his gospel, the sacred words of his teaching. He will be nailed to a cross and die, and he will be buried. But he will rise again in more perfect flesh. We will eat of that flesh in holy communion and be healed of our physical sins. And we shall inherit this broken earth. See? We prepared everything. It's all ready for you.
What? Don't do this. Please.
Where is your gospel? You're supposed to have a gospel for us. To guide us in our salvation after the end.
The gospel?
The truth. Your guidance. We suffered a long time waiting on you. Well, old Nick, I guess we better put those nails in.
Wait! Ah!
Good. That wasn't so bad, was it? What's this? Nick, hand me that. Is that a camera? A record? Of course. How could I not see it? A modern Christ would use a camera, not a book. This is our gospel. How could I not have known? Lord, please forgive me for doubting you. There is no suffering that I do not deserve. I am a worm, festering wound. I must study his lessons. Drive the other nail in and hang him up.
No!
You are the light of the world.
No!
You are the We have you. It's okay. Shh. We have you. The gospel isn't done yet. You will report your own resurrection. You will complete your gospel. Yes. We return him to the way of sorrows. Wait. Take him. When he rises, we all will have our communion.
Don't! Please don't! Please don't! Please! Oh, you crazy motherfuckers! Oh, God.
Against all odds, Blake escapes both hazards and escapes the forest. By now, his hallucinations of his childhood grow incredibly vivid, nightmarish, and more intense, and by the end, Blake has been driven completely insane by his guilt over Jessica's fate. He still powers on, however, finally reaching a lift down into the mines where Lynn is kept by the heretics. Hunted throughout the caverns by the heretics and their leader Val, Blake finally finds a heavily pregnant Lynn only to get trapped in a disgusting blood orgy interrupted by the Testament, who slaughter the heretics and chase the Langermanns out of the mines into a thunderstorm.
Generous of you, Blake. Help me make this right. Please come. The fruit of your lust, your child, your father, the Christ we deserve.
Lynn!
Watch.
Blake, oh my God! Lynn! Help me! Lynn! I'm here!
They seek refuge at a chapel where Lynn gives birth to their child and immediately dies of shock. Her last words being, "There's nothing there." Blake breaks down crying and passes out with the baby in his arms, awakening to Sullivan announcing that he has had the entire town killed due to failure at stopping the birth. He slits his own throat right in front of him. Blake, with the baby in his arms, walks through the horrific ravaged remains of the temple gate before the sun seems to consume the entire planet, just as Sullivan had predicted with the birth of the Antichrist. The apocalypse Blake had witnessed, as well as the nightmarish flashbacks to his childhood, were all just hallucinations induced by the Murkoff Corporation's local radio towers, leaving Blake's true fate unknown.
Oh shit! Shit, shit, shit! Oh.
You need to lie down.
I can't do this.
You can. You can do this.
Oh God! Something's wrong.
Just keep breathing.
It feels like something's wrong. Ah! It hurts too much.
I know, baby, I know. But you can do this, okay? Just keep breathing.
Oh, fuck! Fuck! Ah! Oh God! Oh God!
Keep breathing.
It's
Just
killing
push.
me! Ah!
Lynn!
There's nothing there.
Oh, Jesus God! Lynn! 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 No! Lynn! No! Lynn! Ah, no!
That's the child, isn't it? My God. We're taking care of my children. But yours... I am powerless again. The child's too strong already. You've murdered paradise. God has gone silent. Since the storm, the birth. Who will he have if he destroys us all? Who will he have left to punish? I killed my children. All of them. Every last one. There's no more perfect faith than that. And still, God is silent. Kill that child if you can. If you love anything at all, crush its skull under your heel. I know God doesn't hear dead men, but I expect he answers them.
The priest dies. You didn't have to do anything. You were a child. Nobody could expect anything of you. None of this is my fault. Gonna be okay. You have her. She'll get to grow up. She'll do everything she was born to do.
Blake is a completely average man twisted by guilt over Jessica's death, endlessly and vividly haunted by it despite it happening decades ago. He is passionately dedicated to his wife, willing to go through absolute hell just to save her. It can be theorized that his failure to save Jessica is what motivates his obsessive want to succeed in saving Lynn instead. He even accidentally calls Lynn Jess more times than once, and by the end of the game doesn't even bother correcting himself as if Lynn is Jessica to him. Otherwise, he is a devout Christian and a very respectful, polite man to Ethan even after his death, but is, above all else, very strong-willed and determined. He also gains a sarcastic attitude towards his situation, constantly making snarky remarks similar to Miles. His recordings eventually devolve into insane, nonsensical ramblings, however, making it very clear that his sanity is almost non-existent by the end of the game. He even starts talking like a child, referring to the authorities as grown-ups, for example. Blake is a very well-built adult man with fair skin. Although his adult face is never seen, he wears glasses to correct his sight disorder, and there are photos seen throughout the school of him as a child. Laird also describes him as a man full-grown yet virginal, most beautiful and fair above even the beauty of women, though this could be taken lightly thanks to the insanity of Laird. Blake sports a green, rolled-up, zipped-up jacket over a light gray hoodie, where he stores his batteries for camcorder and bandages for medical attention, an analog watch around his left wrist, dark tan pants, and black combat boots. At some point in the game, Blake is crucified with a hammer and nails, in a similar manner to Jesus Christ, leaving holes in both of his hands, which are then covered by bandages. Alias: The Father, The Outsider, The Scarred Messiah. Career: investigative journalist, cameraman. Affiliation: Lynn Langermann, wife deceased. Born 1985 or 1986. Age 27 or 28. Sex male. Hair brown. Eyes brown. Status unknown. And that ends yet another episode of History Behind the Horror. Before we end this episode, again, I would like to thank the ones who liked the last Outlast video we did and shared it and gave me ideas to do this video. I had a lot of fun doing this video. It took a few hours to get it done, longer than what I originally thought it was. It actually took about around 5 to 6 hours to finish, but I really had a lot of fun with it. Even though Outlast 2 isn't one of my favorite games out of the Outlast series, I would rather play Outlast 1, and I actually rage quit Outlast 2 from certain parts that I couldn't understand or I got sick of, and the glitches that I had and the problems that I had in that game that a lot of you guys know about. Even though all of that stuff happened, I still did enjoy doing this video because I do like information behind characters like Blake or Miles or anyone from Outlast or anyone in general in horror games or in other video games. That being said, this video has broken the record of our longest video made. I believe our longest video was either Miles Upshore or it was Wayland Park from Outlast or an Outlast the Whistleblower. So it's kind of weird that it was another protagonist from the Outlast world that beat a record, and our two other ones that's in first place and second place is Wayland Park and Miles Upshore. So that's actually really funny to me. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you really want to see more Outlast, put it in the comments, but make sure you give this video a like and make sure you share it, because that's how I know that you guys want to see more Outlast videos. Then after that, go in the comments and tell me what you want to see next, and I'll try to get that out for you guys as soon as I can. So as always, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of History Behind the Horror.